Quinn, episode 2. There's no I. Well, there's no Ivy in team, and it's your boy Icon with a little DC animated television, and this is probably going to be my favorite episode of the entire season, and I can't imagine why you would think that, but it is. So now in this episode, there are two stories here that are on a collision course coming together as one. The GOAT, ladies and gentlemen, has arrived. Richard Gillian Grayson, the prodigal son, has returned to Gotham, and when he gets to Gotham and he gets to the Batcave, well, he was on the bus with Ivy and Harley, which was funny because after like Plastique had blown up Eden, they ended up making their way back to Gotham so they can team up with their crew. So then when they get on the bus, whatever, Dick gets to the Batcave, he gets back to Wayne Manor. And then when he gets there, he's just like, okay, there's a Batgirl here. There's he saw, I forgot Damian Wayne was in this show. And then he sees Damian. Damian's wearing the Robin costume. He meets Batgirl. He sees Batman, and he's all like, yes, like I'm here to restore order to the streets of Gotham. And then even Batman is like, why are you speaking that way? And he was like, it's the appropriate amount, of low pitch. So it's like it's very funny. Firefly, I believe he was blowing up the city, and the Bat family went down to go stop him. Even the macaroni, I forgot about that too. Like Alfred goes down there as well. The entire team goes down there, and then just like Young Justice, when the whole team was in a huddle and they were ready to go confront everybody, Dick just ran off and did his own thing, just like in Young Justice. And then this whole big fight scene happens, and then the whole Bat team is a mess because Batgirl, Robin, even Alfred and Batman, they've been a cohesive unit, ever since the show started. Nightwing, he was off in Bloodhaven doing his Bloodhaven thing, so he's kind of like the outcast, and some things weren't meshing very well. And then Barbara and he both collided with each other trying to do like one move, so it's this whole big mess, and the Bat team is in disarray. Now, Harley and them, she ends up telling the crew about Ivy's plan to terraform the Earth. Now, Ivy, she tells them that, Ivy has this great plan and she's in charge and blah, blah, blah. But Ivy's not the best in the world when it comes to leadership. So she's kind of flailing a little bit as far as telling everybody the plan. She ends up doing the whole binder thing where she maps everything out, one plan at a time. And she was just, she was like, in order for me to terraform the Earth, I need a sample of a cricket that's trapped in some moss that's at a museum. So the whole team goes down to the museum. They try to steal the moss. And then, that kind of didn't go well either because, again, Ivy's not a leader. So when the security showed up and then when the cops showed up and people started getting shot, she didn't know how to lead a team. So it turned out to be this whole big mess. She ends up just going dolo. She grabs everybody with her vine. She snatches the thing and then they run out of the museum and they all got beat up. So now that they're all beat up, Harley's trying to figure out how they can get the whole team back on board. But Ivy's whole thing is like, look, I got my moss, so to hell with everything else. She's like, let me just do what I got to do. She ends up making her potion. And then when she creates her potion, she uses the potion to see if it'll terraform the Earth. It backfired. It blew up a daisy. And then she was just like, oh, I failed. And then she said that the problem was there were too many cooks in the kitchen and that she wanted to rock solo and not have the whole team dynamic because the team was just getting in the way, which broke poor Harley's heart. Now, Bane, for some reason, Bane was all up in this episode trying to buy bombs because he said that, he needs to get revenge on Harley and his crew, but his credit card was declined and now he has no cash for some reason. And my whole thing is, if you're a supervillain and you're trying to buy explosives and you're trying to buy weapons and your credit card is declined, you're a supervillain. Why are you not robbing this establishment? This makes no sense to me. But anyway, so then after that, Harley ends up seeing this ad on TV about this place downtown that does team building exercises. So she brings the whole crew down there. She tricks Ivy into going. When they get down to the place that actually has the team building exercise, it turns out to be an elaborate ruse done by the Riddler, who's there to trap everybody and kill them all. She separates the team into 3 different groups and puts them in 3 different rooms. But when he separates the group and puts them in 3 different rooms, we find out that the Bat family is actually there too, because the Bat family went down to the same place for the same team building exercise, which I thought was hilarious. So Barbara and Harley, they're basically geeking out over the fact that, the decor looks cool. Batman and Robin, they're in there with Clayface and King Shark and with Alfred. And then, Clayface had mentioned that he had auditioned for the Thomas Wayne biopic. And then that's when Batman was like, the Thomas Wayne what? And then he starts doing this whole monologue about wanting to just leave the poor Wayne family alone. But the focus was on Nightwing and on Ivy because those were the 2 characters that are having trouble fitting in with the team. Ivy was having trouble leading a team, and Dick was having trouble like fitting in with a new team. And then after that, like, they ended up, there was like this whole elaborate game of chess that Dick won because he had to be the very best, and then it didn't do anything, and they were still gonna die. And then after having a conversation, Dick had said that the reason why he came back to Gotham was because he had accidentally let Vigilante kill Blockbuster, and he feels that he failed. So he came back, to Gotham to hide his head in shame. And then he was just like, oh, Batman doesn't know what I've done. And then she was just like, but if it was big news, then, they would know. And then that's when she got the idea. She was just like, it's not really about like winning. It's not about succeeding. She said that sometimes you have to fail in order to succeed. So she reset up the chessboard, and she purposely lost the game of chess. And then once she lost the game of chess, then the death trap that they were in ended up going away, and then we were all back to normal. All two groups came back together. Batman picked the lock and got everybody out of there, and then both groups like went on their merry way. I don't know why Batman didn't try to arrest that entire Harley gang, but it was just like whatever. So then Nightwing, he's back in the Batcave, and then he tries to start new with Barbara and them, and then looks like the Bat team is going to be on, some positivity going forward. And then when we go back to Harley's crew, she Poison Ivy had made another chance to try to terraform the earth. And then she even said, she was just like, listen, she's like, I learned my lesson to not strive for perfection. She said, I'm going to try to terraform it again. And if it doesn't work, oh well, c'est la vie. We'll just try again tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. So she ends up using the serum. It didn't work, but then the plant that she put the serum on had exploded. And then when the plant exploded, like some of the goo that was on it, it hit the I forgot the Venus flytrap name, like the ghetto one that be doing all the hip hop shit. Like it hit him, and then when the building exploded, because when Bane showed up to use his bombs against Harley, like the building had already exploded. And then when Harley's team had pulled themselves out of the debris, we find out that the Venus flytrap, because he got hit with some of that excess, like goo or whatever, it turned him into like a super plant. So that's gonna be a thing. And I guess using him as the catalyst to stabilize the serum, I mean that's a season 3 question, but that's how the episode ended. Bane got his revenge and didn't feel good about it, and I said the Bat team, they're all together. This was very cool, and thank you for tuning in. So of course, right out the gate, knowing that Nightwing is involved in this, I'm already glued to the entire season, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes. There was no Jim Gordon in this episode. He's always the comedic goof, that shows up in this. So to not have him in an episode, I thought was weird. But you kind of notice when these things are missing. But like I said, it's so far so good. I'm enjoying the show so far. It's supposed to be a mental escape. You're not supposed to take this shit seriously because, like I said, it's rated R and we love it for it. So like I said, hit me up on Twitter and Instagram, always on YouTube. I say again, thanks to everybody who subscribed to my YouTube channel, because we did hit the 200 mark for subscriptions, and I'm very blessed and thankful to all of you as we make the drive for 500. So that was it, guys. So until episode 3 of Harley Quinn, take care, get your team together, and until next time, I'm out this